Hello and welcome to a special AARpg episode. So, for this, I'm going to talk about a couple different games. So first off, let me say that Diablo 2 is one of my favorite games. Sorry, a little thirsty. And recently, I've been playing these games that they call the Diablo killers. So I'm going to compare them. The first off is Titan Quest. Now, Titan Quest is considered one of the best, simply one of the best action RPGs. But to me, it's not. You don't really find a lot of good loot. The areas all look the same. It's really not a good game to me. I don't like the inventory system. I don't like the skill setup. The class system is pretty crap. The story doesn't really intrigue me. It's really not that good. You're a standard character. You're a Spartan. 300 style, to be honest. It's really not that good of a game. I wish there was more to it. It's just, when you're playing the game, when I play an action RPG, these are my 5 bullet points that I want. I want a really cool skill tree. I want character class. I want lots of loot. I want a good story. And I want different types of environments. And when I was playing Titan Quest, I really didn't get that. To me, Titan Quest just it really didn't hold up. I played about 4 or 5 hours into it. I just kept playing, trying to get something. You kill bosses and you really don't get anything special. Now, on to the next one that I'm going to talk about. The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing. I have Part 1 and Part 2 on my Xbox One. And both of them, I love a lot of the skills that are in there. But the weapons, there's just not a lot of variety of stuff you can get. You fight almost the same enemies all the time, but you do to get different types of environments, and then you can play this little, I forget what like a castle crasher type of thing in the underground basement part. The story's really cool. The banter between the ghost Katrina that accompanies Van Helsing is really cool. Some of the monsters you can come across is really good. Different types of classes. Your skills are pretty good. I really like it. I heard the third one's coming to Xbox One as well. So the class that I always go with is just the standard class, the Hunter. I really like that one very well. The Magic class is pretty good too. I haven't tried the Archmage yet, which is more like a pyrotechnic shooter class. But that one I beat the first Van Helsing. I haven't beat the second one yet. The next on the list we're going to talk about is Grim Dawn. Now, Grim Dawn, I like the skills. You get 2 different skills that you can combine. When I was playing Grim Dawn, it's like Titan Quest done right. Now, you can explore a lot. There's a lot of dungeons. You get a lot of loot. And there's a lot of loot to choose from. You can start off by being your classes are like a shaman and a cultist, Nightblade. There's like a warrior class. You have a little bit of everything. And I have one class that's a cultist, like an arcane, with like a fighter, with like a warrior. And I have another one, which is called the Conjurer, but that's when you combine a shaman and an occultist. So you have a little bit of different variety of stuff you can do. My Conjurer is really good. I love the fact that you have guns, you have knives. One of my characters is holding a glowing eye orb. There's a variety of enemies you'll fight. I haven't made it past the first act yet, but to me, it's a really deep game. Now, I'm waiting to see some really cool bosses. So far, every boss I've fought is pretty simplistic, pretty standard in what you're doing. But I really think that game is really good. But there's so much more DLC and stuff they could put into the game. And I've been playing it it's been out for about a year. There hasn't really been any DLC yet, besides the Crucible, and I haven't played the Crucible. But so far, it's not a Diablo killer. And then you have Diablo 3. Diablo 3, to me, its story is very short, and the acts are jumbled. Now, I love the Diablo franchise. Diablo 2 is the best, in my opinion, but in Diablo 3, some of the classes don't add up. Like, the Barbarian class could have so much more to it. Wow. The Demon Hunter, good class. If you're the Witch Doctor or you're the Wizard, you're good. They're going to be bringing in the Necromancer. The problem is, Act 1 is really long. Act 2 is boring and long, and I think Act 2 drags way too much. But then Act 3 and Act 4 are really short, and killing Diablo is like best. But Act 5 is like another 4 or 5 hours. Diablo 3 had so many problems at the offset. Now it's starting to gain an audience back, but the problem is there hasn't been enough DLC for Diablo 3 to add to the story, put more in there. Now they have the greater rifts and all that, but that game could do so much more. And now there's a game I'm going to talk about, which is the closest you can get to a Diablo killer. Before I get to that, let's talk about Guardians of Ember. I'm playing the beta right now for Guardians of Ember, and the game lags. The game has issues. There's a big time frame difference between when you hit an enemy and you actually strike. It lags a lot. The loot doesn't make sense, because you could kill a normal enemy and get a high-end weapon, and you kill a boss and you get a common weapon. It doesn't make sense. I've played it multiple times, tried to get more into it, and it just doesn't work. I don't know what the problem is with the game. It's just, I'm going to do a full in-depth review of each of these games I'm talking about, but right now this is just the action RPG talk. But there is one game you have to talk about if you talk about New Age action RPGs. It is Path of Exile. Now, to me, when I did my first review of Path of Exile, I didn't start listening to this guy. There's a guy out there called Pox Kappa, who is really smart, knows what he's talking about, and lets you know how to build. So once I started getting into the character builds, the skill gems, working with different classes, I have tried every class that's out there, and to be honest, Path of Exile is an amazing game, because you can do so much in there. If you have the right gems, your character can progress so much. I think people get overwhelmed by the passive skill tree, because it's huge and there's so many different directions you can go. I tried the Marauder, which is just like the Barbarian. I tried the Ranger, which is like a rogue. I've also tried the Witch, the Templar, which is like a Paladin / Wizard class. Shadow, which is an assassin. A Duelist is a new class, though. It's like a pirate guy, and you really have to divulge into the game to get the most out of it. And I have got the most out of that game. I have played hours upon hours, This is why it's taken me a little time to put this review up, because what I'm going to constantly do is I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to do mini reviews for all these games. So, Path of Exile in June is coming to Xbox One, and so far, for free, they've released 4 acts so far. They're releasing 5 through 10 in June. So they're releasing more stuff. Every so often they do a league, like Breach. Legacy started today. They really try and get everything out there. And there's so many different ways and avenues you can go to really figure out what you're going to do with your character class. And I like that. I really like the progression. I like a lot of the enemies. I like the different locations. I'm really getting into it. Now, I've only gotten to Act 3 with one character, but now I'm trying to get all those characters there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a brand new character with the Legacy League, and I'm going to let you guys know where I'm going to go with the tree, what I'm going to be doing. Path of Exile is one of my favorite games I'm playing right now. And I really just gotta say that if it wasn't for different people on YouTube, I wouldn't like the game so much. Path of Exile is a game that if you're gonna play it, you need to go in depth and play it. You need to try out different skill gems, see what works, save your flasks. I'm gonna do a full review on it, but this is my action RPG talk. I'm going to do reviews for all these games and give you my opinion on them. But in my opinion, none of them come close to Diablo 2. Diablo 2 is still the king. Not even Diablo 3 could get up against it. But as always, I am Chucky, and I will always see you next time.